What do the Denver Broncos see in Bo Nix's game that they love so much that they use the 12th pick in the draft to bring him in? Let's unpack it. Here's his film breakdown. I'm a huge fan of Bo Nix. Got a chance to meet him when he was heading into his senior year in high school, lead 11. I'm an offensive coordinator on the team. He's my quarterback. Him and Jaden Daniels having a great week duking it out. Get a chance to see the way that Bo ticks. Also got a chance to see him follow up Jarrett Stidham at Auburn, who I'd been spending time with as he came in. And with the weight of the world out there in Auburn, Alabama, being a Nix, his father being a legend, his father being a legendary high school football coach in Alabama, and the magnitude and the difficulties that went down in Auburn. Then, a few years later, move up to the Pacific Northwest. And if you live in Alabama, that's the middle of nowhere, Eugene, Oregon. And then you get a chance to just decompress and play and learn and play with some really talented players. And honestly, if you saw that scheme in Oregon, play for some really talented schemers and play designers. You get a college football record in completion percentage, a record that a lot of quarterbacks would have loved to have gotten in college. And you got to run at the end, you got to invite to New York, and you just see the ascension of a player that I'm not the one who's surprised that we've seen this ascension. In fact, years ago, I was slightly misquoted, but I was quoted in a Sports Illustrated article. They asked me, what do I think the potential is for Bo Nix? And they asked me this at the peak of him struggling at Auburn. And I said, his potential is to be a top pick in the NFL draft. That gets posted, treated. The comment section was hysterical, lighting me up. I hope whoever commented on that watched the draft a month ago. Sorry, I was off by 11 picks. And from a traits perspective, let's look at it physical, mental, and emotional. Physically, I don't care about his 40-yard dash. I'm just going to tell you, he's significantly more athletic than you realize. I remember when he was at Auburn, he was out here training, and I had talked to a strength coach. And the guy told me, I don't remember at the time, it was the second or third fastest 10-yard split on the team. And I don't care how many games Auburn did or didn't win that year. That's an SEC school. They got speed. They at least got dudes who can run super fast the first 10 yards they start running. And Bo Nix was one of the fastest. Then you look at the size. He's 6'2", almost 6'3", 215, will probably grow to be a little bit more than that, but he's built the way you'd want to be built. And from a mental perspective, this is the son of a coach. And it's actually the son of a great coach who also played. This is like the trifecta in terms of growing up playing quarterback and how he is as a student, how he approaches life. So he's got all that stuff on him. And then on the emotional side, look, I don't think this is the only way to become a successful quarterback, but it's certainly helped a lot of successful quarterbacks that I know. And it's just how grounded he is in his faith. When he deals with people booing, when he deals with people at some point wishing he was different or wanting to change him or wanting to tell him how terrible he is, he's one of the guys because of his faith. It's not that he's going to tune it out or use the haters as fuel. He doesn't find his identity in the opinions from other people. He finds it in his faith, in his relationship with his creator. And so you kind of become impenetrable to the hatred. And boy, is that valuable when you're a franchise quarterback. And if you're a good one, we're getting to the point where you're staring down the barrel of $500 million in your career. And lastly, I heard a lot of the same criticisms that I hear about Bo Nix that I heard about CJ Stroud last year. And I'm not saying that he's the next CJ and he's going to do. I'm just saying y'all said the exact same stuff about CJ last year. I'm hearing similar things about Caleb Williams right now, which is why all the chatter is irrelevant. I go to the tape. All right, I'm going to get into the tape, but I'm not going to break down the highlights of Bo Nix. You can look at the Broncos' decision to draft him a lot of different ways, but let's be very clear. Sean Payton clearly sees elements in Bo Nix that he has had a lot of success with and largely has helped him become the head coach of the Denver Broncos of what he saw in Drew Brees. From an emotional standpoint, I just said it about Bo. Drew's the same guy. Married, a bunch of kids. He's holding his baby boy with the confetti falling on him at the Super Bowl. Bo Nix has been married for 2 years and is on a similar trajectory. From a mental perspective, Drew Brees would win in preparation. He would win games on his preparation Monday through Saturday, and I just think Bo Nix is going to go about it the same exact way. But I'm going to show you in the tape a little comparison here. And I think that there's 3 things that stick out to me about Bo Nix's game. 2 of them also stuck out to me about Drew Brees' game. The third one, Drew Brees never had. Let's start with this. The ability to, whether it's play action or drop back, push the ball down the field. I said this in a lot of videos. My high school coach told me a long time ago, there's like 3 to 5 times in a game when you got a chance to really make a play down the field, and you got to make most of those. Well, he didn't just complete 80-something% of his passes at Oregon last year because he took the flat. He also pushed the ball down the field, which is why you're up for the Heisman. So let's look at this right here. This is second quarter Fiesta Bowl. They're up 17-6. Okay, here's the concept. We've got a stop go down here, okay? And it's off of a play action. So we're going to stop and go, and this running back's coming across. Bo's going to, at the snap of the ball, show run. Okay, they've got a favorable look. He's got a one-on-one matchup. When we're inside leverage, what's going to happen is when you're inside leverage right here, The DB is not paying attention inside. They might peek inside, but their eyes are right here. So they clearly called this because they saw something on tape. Okay. And so we're going to set this up. It's 1st and 10. So everything's on the table. When you got a DB doing that, what you can assume is that he is going to end up on the inside shoulder of my wide receiver, or he's not, because he's going to get absolutely lost on the double move. And I know he's wide open. That's fine. But look where this ball hits his receiver. It's right in front of him. I don't care when dudes play at schools and they're thrown to open receivers. I don't like knocking them if the ball hits him in the throat every single time. And that's exactly what this does. So Bo Nix showing that, yeah, he can isolate outside. And if we get a winner outside, which you try and scheme up every Sunday, he can take advantage of it. Shows fake, gets himself set. Off this play action, holding that safety for an extra tick, gets turned, pump fake, and stays in a great pre-pass position, even though he's got a free runner coming here. He's able to throw it, get through this, take the hit, and this ball spins perfectly and is exactly where his guy can get it. Let's run it back to, I don't know what year this is, but this is old school Drew Brees. This is back when like Reebok had the league deal. It looks like I'm playing Madden or Quarterback Club 94, but either way, here's Drew Brees, heavy play action, okay? Selling this, and he's got an over route. I don't know who it is. It's probably like Joe Horn or Marcus Colston. And so Drew gets to a good spot and does what he did for a long, long time, which is when dudes are open down the field, hit them in stride. Sean Payton can dial it up. Yeah, let's get some better wideouts in here for sure, always. But he can dial it up. So your quarterback's got to be able to take advantage of opportunities the coordinator creates. Another thing that Drew Brees did a fantastic job, one of the best to do it over a long period of time, is throw from a collapsed pocket. Whether that is bull rush coming at you, tackle squeezing, climbing. Drew Brees, even though he was smaller and he wasn't the best athlete on the field, was able to get throws off, get into it, whatever he needed to get into, and throw with crowded space around him, not a lot of chance to step into it, and also hang in there and take a hit. Drew Brees is as tough as they come. I think a lot of those things about Bo Nix. So here he is right here, and they were able to do a lot of different shifts, a lot of different motions, change things up. They're in a bunch set to the field here. They're bringing somebody across. Their defense is rocking, so these safeties right here are adjusting. He's gathering information, okay? And they're window dressing to be able to create opportunities, okay? So here's Bo Nix. We're going to end up having a linebacker come here, so it's going to be a 5-man rush, and they're just going to play straight man coverage. So nobody came across in motion on defense, but that safety's rocking and rolling, gave the potential for a man tell. He sees it. Again, quick play action. He gets back, and now the bull rushes on, and he's going to stand right here and feel this pressure and be able to find his boy on an over route versus outside leverage, and just trust that his guy's going to cross face and win. And even though he can't get into it, he's got to be able to drive into that front side and get that ball across his body and across the field. This ball in the air is about 30 yards. Does a great job, just a subtle retreat here, feeling that and throwing without being able to get into it. And do this. This isn't about him taking a huge hit and being tough. Everybody in the draft, by the way, can do that, right? They made the decision that they don't care about getting hit a long time ago. So this isn't a toughness clip. Okay, there should be no questions about that with this young man. This is, can you throw from a tight space? He can get his front foot up and down, but he's not able to get through this. This is a fadeaway jumper, and you know you're getting hit, and this ball in the air is 30 yards, and it hits his boy on the forehead. And so can you do that consistently over time? Both mechanically, both courageously, and also just consistently knowing that I don't have time to move or create here. This ball's got to come out, and yes, no, can I get this thing where I need to get it? Bo Nix continuously over and over again has done that over a long college career. I think Sean Payton has seen this story before. All right, the third element, where again, I see this in Bo Nix's game. I never saw this in Drew Brees' game. Fun fact, I spent 4 or 5 off seasons when I was playing in the NFL in San Diego training with Drew Brees in the off season. Again, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play and one of the greatest competitors I've ever shared space with. But check out this clip, okay? Here's the mobility. I never saw, this wasn't his game. Create, make something happen with your feet, make people miss, set something up. So here's what I did. I asked my team, will you find me the sickest play that Drew Brees ever made with his legs? So here it is. And it's impressive. They're down 7, playing a division rival. They're both 1-1 at the beginning of the season, 37-30, 1 minute left. He makes this play then. So clutch for sure. But he rolls left, does a couple of pump fakes. The guy outside sends him inside. 34 takes a terrible angle, lunges with his head. Why would you just get him on the ground? And Drew Brees makes a super athletic play, okay? But he never did this. Look at his face right here. Look how surprised he is. Oh my gosh, did you just see that? Did that just happen? Let's watch it again, okay? He doesn't see it. He creates. Look, this shouldn't be a touchdown. He created something that was not there. That should not be a touchdown. Homeboy. Everybody around here, we got you guys surrounded, dude. So he makes an unbelievable cut, play, dives into the end zone. It's sick. I'm just telling you, the YouTube highlights for sick Drew Brees runs is not as long as you think. Let's flip that over to the Bo Nix story on mobility. If you've seen this play, I'm stoked you get a chance to watch it again. And if you haven't seen this play, you're going to think about this a little differently. Down 13, 5 minutes left in the second, it's 4th and 2. He rolls right. This is LSU, lots of good players. He makes him miss. Pump fake makes him miss. Makes him miss again, makes him miss, and then gets rid of this ball. And where's it thrown? To his boy in the end zone in stride. So I'm not saying we want to design, look at this guy right here. This looks like Mr. Beast went and shot a video at LSU. But check this from the other angle. There's a lot of changes of direction. There's a lot happening here. One, the speed to get out, come back to that in a second, okay? Change of direction, switch hands, crosses him over, pump fake. I mean, yeah, running for his life. But how about this? Sets up, ball's out. By the way, spinning perfectly, hits this guy in stride. Come on. I can go on and on. We can compare highlight lists, whatever. That's fine. That wasn't Drew Brees' game. My point is, like, that's absolutely part of Bo Nix's game. And let's look at the way that mobility, outside of juking a bunch of dudes and making a play, how does it play out realistically over time where we can design offense around it? Well, it's putting the quarterback on the run. Look, I'm all for throwing from right here, but when we can start to throw from other positions, it puts a lot of stress on the defense. So right here, he's starting to the left. This isn't a naked. This isn't anything. This is starting to look left, holding all these defenders here. Again, play design at Oregon was at an all-time. He's going to step right into one of the great play callers in the NFL as well. And now burst, that gives time for your back that started here to become a third element, ultimately a fourth element on this side. Instead of using number 3, the tight end, to release into a route, they're able to use him to help seal the edge for Bo. Keep somebody out of his face. So he gets depth. Now we've got a winner inside. We've got an over route backside. And again, like we saw earlier in this game, we got a DB who's inside leverage. So his back's going to be to the quarterback. All we got to do is win. And so Bo on the run. This is 25, 30 yards in the air. This ball is ripped, thrown accurately. Great play design, great execution. On the run, uses this left foot to set himself here from a stability perspective. Lides attention loaded galore, which is why it effortlessly rips and hits his boy on the forehead. So the deep ball potential when we dial it up, that's totally there. Throwing from a tight space, it's got a lot of reps at it. Now it's the mobility element that I don't think Sean Payton has had ever. It drew for a long time. A lot of people thought that might be what he brings and resurrects out of Russell Wilson's career. Not getting into it, but that's not how it played out. And now you get a player in Bo Nix who has that element. With that being said, one of the benefits of him going to Denver is he does not have to start right away. They do not have to throw him in. They brought in Jarrett Stidham a year ago. Do not sleep on what this guy is. He's backed up Brady. He's helped Derek Carr learn the new offense with the Raiders. Then when he did get a chance to play with the Raiders, he absolutely torched Kansas City and San Francisco to finish out the season 2 years ago and came in for Russell last year, a guy who's had a big offseason, second year in the system with Sean Payton, and he was brought in last year on a very healthy backup quarterback contract because they know what they got in Jarrett Stidham too. So I think quietly, the Denver Broncos have just built one of the best young quarterback rooms in the league, paired with one of the best offensive minds we've seen since I've been paying attention. So the ability to be accurate down the field, the ability to throw from a cramped space, and the added layer of mobility and what that can do for a play caller are 3 reasons why I actually love the fit of Bo Nix wearing Broncos uni.